Usually the simplest answer is the correct answer. Hey there everybody, The Real Martian here. Okay, this is going to be the third video in my series titled, You've Already Made the Choice. You're here to understand why you've made it. Obviously, that comes from the Matrix. For those that are brand new to this series, let me just do a quick introduction to myself. For everybody else, you know this will just take a few moments, so grab yourself a drink and be ready. I've served my community as a volunteer firefighter and first responder. I'm an aerospace engineer. I have a master's in organizational leadership. I have had an amazing 20-plus year professional career, which includes having served in the Air Force, working on top-secret space programs, deploying to Baghdad, and working for a Boeing subsidiary overseeing new product development for unmanned aerial vehicles and systems. It's been fun ride, folks. Very fun ride. I'm now the Chief Operations and Technology Officer, can't believe that, of a startup, Eat and Grow Systems, where we are trying to provide sustainable food and energy independence to local communities around the world and one day off of it. I have a passion for engineering. I love sharing it here on this channel, and I love to explore all hard sciences such as physics. Physics is definitely something that catches my attention every time, and I love the idea of energy. I want to explore that a lot, how to make energy. I have led people from all walks of life and have served both in the private sector and the military with amazing people of very diverse backgrounds and beliefs. And I believe in Jesus Christ. I don't agree with the concept of organized religion-based dogma. I believe in a personal relationship with Jesus guided by the entity known as the Holy Spirit. You don't need a priest to know Jesus. I like to share some personal thoughts, experiences in this area. That's what this series is about. I thought it prudent to share this brief background before we jumped in. So in this video, we're picking up on the third question of our series here. The first question is, what are the implications of the leap of faith? And the leap of faith in summary is, if you're an atheist or if you're a believer, everybody makes a leap of faith. The atheist can't prove that the universe created from nothing. The Christian can't prove where God was created from. Both require a leap of faith. Knowing that, you have implications if you're leaning on the side of the universe was created by a God. So in this series, we're going to do, this is the third video, but it's the second question. We're going to talk about questions leading to Jehovah or Yahweh. There are many words for God, but Jehovah is one I'm going to be referencing here primarily. We're going to be looking at questions leading to Jehovah as the one true God. Within this, we're going to look at, is there a supreme creator, such as God? Is this God the God of the Bible, Jehovah? And did this God create me? Now, for those that are just joining in, I am reading prepared remarks here. This is way too important just to kind of shoot from the hip on. What we're trying to do with this video series is get to some very serious questions that a family member and friends have asked me. And I wanted to answer those questions from my perspective, my personal perspective, and I decided to share it on YouTube. Questions such as, you know, if God is good, why does he allow bad things to happen? Why are children hurt? Genocide? Did God ask for genocide? Abortion? Homosexuality? Those are the types of questions we're going to be getting to. But as I said in my very first video, which is all linked, my second video are linked down below, I wanted to set the context. You can't answer these questions in 8-second sound bites, folks. And if you are, you're wrong. There is a way to do it. It's all about free will and love. But it's not going to give you what you're looking for. So I guess maybe saying you're wrong is a little too harsh. But it's wrong to take serious questions like this and simplify them down to it's just about free will. It is true, but that's not the answer that people are looking for. It's very unsatisfying. It's not something that has appropriate context. So in the first two videos, I went over context. I went over a lot about, you know, what we believe, how we believe it, to get us to these questions of where did the universe come from, where did we come from, and is there a God? So we're going to be tackling that now. So let me go ahead and jump right in. Section 2, questions leading to Jehovah as the one true God. In my last video, I spoke about the fact that it wasn't until my mid-20s where I started to ask the question of, you know, where did the universe come from and where did I come from? So now things were getting more interesting for me. As a young man, I now had a hard question in front of me. If the universe was created, who created it? Because I decided that I'm going to go with God. There's a God and he created it. That was my leap of faith. Remember, we all take leaps of faith, folks. If you don't understand that, pause and just think about it. Think about what you believe and take it back to, can I prove it? And you're going to find out through logic, you can't. Not possible. So, if the universe was created, who created it? I had and still have a lot of choices once you choose that it was created. It could be aliens. It could be Jehovah. It could be Buddha, Jesus Christ, Hindu gods, Greek gods, Norse gods, Egyptian gods, Babylonian gods, Allah, etc., etc. There are many. There are profuse in number. Profound. No, there's a, what is the word? It is a mere plethora of options. I think it's safe to say, however, and one must be honest about these things, that the Judeo-Christian culture around me in my younger days certainly influenced my decision. I don't want to, you can't cover that up. It certainly influenced me. But it did not make my decision. I approach this question in the following manner. What does history say? What evidence is there of one over the other? I gravitated towards the Jewish, Islamic, and Christian faiths most strongly. Why? In this case, quantity and history matter. These three faiths are all part of the family of faiths known as the Abrahamic faiths. Throughout history, these faiths have been passed down verbally, then in written form over the course of 6 millennia. People in these faiths were certainly willing to die for their beliefs, and this meant a lot to me. If you are willing to die for a thing, then you certainly believe in it. The multiple God concept of Hinduism and others never resonated with me due to the nature of what the question of who created God. It becomes more complex. That is, there's more than one creator, then who created all of them, right? It becomes, simple is better. Keep it simple, Occam's razor. Usually the simplest answer is the correct answer. I went with the more simple approach, a single God. In all honesty, I did not fully explore all other religions, as I felt the historical evidence for the Abrahamic faith was the strongest. So if you want to attack me, there's a chink in the armor right there. It will not change, however, just so you know, it will not change my position, because now that I've decided this, I see even more stronger evidence over the course of my 20 some odd years of believing what I believe. I quickly discovered the linkage between these three faiths and studied them. I remember reading Islam for Dummies as I tried to understand the beliefs and approaches that each took. The Jewish faith and people were strong influencers on my decision that the God Jehovah was indeed the God. The historical evidence of the long-standing, persecuted, and human experience of the Jews as a people truly sold me on this concept. The amount of persecution and death that the Jews have faced is striking when compared to all other religions and faiths. No other people has been so historically hated. This attracted my attention. And to be clear, it's not because of hate that attracted me. It's not like, hey, Jeff wants to go hate people. No, that's not it. It's why in the world are these people so hated? Are they evil? Are they conquerors? What do they have that others don't? The short version of this long answer is thus: they are God's chosen people. Now think about it. When you are around someone who has been identified as being better than you, like being chosen for something, or maybe they got picked first on the sports team back in primary school, you resent them in some way. You may not say it, but it's there. There's that, what do they have that I don't feeling? That desire to prove yourself better or to prove them less. Throughout history, the Jews have been hunted, persecuted, hated, yet through all of that, they still exist. There is no reason on earth that can explain why the Jews as a people still exist. They have been removed from the land country on numerous occasions. They have been scattered throughout the world, yet their culture, their beliefs, and indeed the Jews as a people have never ceased to exist. In fact, they have come back, have received a country in a single day. Now that's biblical prophecy. That's a whole nother series. That was foretold thousands of years ago. And have become a strong, prosperous nation that carries their long-standing culture forward. Now, normally, this is important. Like in the old days in history is very important. I used to hate history. Now I'm really coming to appreciate the importance of it. In history, when a land would be conquered, their culture, and they would be scattered, their culture would be lost, right? Because they'd get absorbed. People trying to survive would just adapt. They'd integrate with the culture surrounding them. It might change the other culture a little bit. Maybe they'll integrate some things. That's been known to happen. But in reality, the culture of the conquered people is destroyed. And the Jews didn't do this. And their culture, in fact, is growing. After thousands of years of years of this cycle of them being destroyed, scattered, and then brought back together, their culture is still essentially the same. It is nothing short of a miracle. There is no logical explanation for it. Again, history tells us that shouldn't happen. All reasoning would result in the Jewish culture and people being assimilated and wiped out generations ago. Yet it persists and even flourishes to this day. This clinched it for me. The God of the Jews, Jehovah, is the God. He is God. He's the one who keeps the Jews going. Why? Because he said he would. He made the promise to Abraham, which is why these are called the Abrahamic phase. He made the promise to Abraham that he would never let his people die. They would always be alive. He made a promise to them, and that's why we hate them. I don't hate them. It's why the world hates them. It's because they have been chosen, and we haven't. That is a heavy topic. And you might be thinking, man, I really don't like that. You know, geez, they've been chosen. Why not me? But see, this is where I start to feel like the Abrahamic faiths are the beginning to the right answer, because it's not what you want. It's not something that if you were to create a fake religion, you would do to attract people. You wouldn't sit there and make a fake religion and then tell people they shouldn't be a part of it because they weren't chosen. You wouldn't do that. You would create some way to attract people to it and have them be part of it and carry it forward. It just goes against logic that you would do something like this. And that, to me, tells me that there's truth here, because it's not exactly what I wanted to hear, right? It's not sugar to my ears. What is that? It's not sweet music to my ears, right? This really sealed it for me. Jehovah is the God, Yahweh. The Jews will not speak these names, so I don't mean any disrespect to them. And there are other names and ways of saying it, and I'm probably not giving it the appropriate rolling of the R's and A's and all those things, but these are the names. I simply go with capital G, God, the Lord, right? The Creator, capital C, Creator. That is it. So, yes, this is the way that I came to know that Jehovah is the one true God. There is only one God. He is the one who created everything. He created me. And in the next question, we are going to start talking about the implications of that. Specifically, we'll be looking at the questions of moral laws given that Jehovah is God. What does that mean? So this video series is meant to break a very complicated topic that takes years and years and years of research and studying to do on your own. I am not trying to replace your studying. You need to do this on your own. But if you are going down this road, I hope these videos are helping you, at least with the logical progression that a person with my experience. That's why I put it at the beginning of each of these videos, is I want people as they come in to understand where I'm coming from. I did not grow up in the Christian faith. I would be considered more worldly. I certainly partied way too much and did things I regret to this day. And God told me in the Bible, if I would have read the Bible a long time ago, told me those things would be bad. And he was right. He was right. These rules that he gives us are there for a reason. And we're going to talk about that next time. So I hope you tune in. I hope you share this video series with your friends and family, and anybody who has a question about Jesus Christ, the Christian faith. I hope you point it to them. I hope this is helpful to you. In the meantime, this is Real Martian. Out.